I have the privilege and the honor to be Will's advisor. So we're going to present for you now what is a Orchowski White moment. I spent a lot of time watching Inside the Actors Studio on Bravo, hosted by James Lipton. And every time he would interview a famous actor, Johnny Depp or Sean Penn or Gina Davis, the end of the segment would include kind of a question and answer period that he would sort of start with a historic questionnaire. This is the questionnaire that was organized and created by French television personality, the great Bernard Pivot. And it goes something like this. This will help us better understand Will, I think. Will, what is your favorite word?
C-dubs.
What is your least favorite word?
Moisture.
That's right. What in life do you get most excited about?
Chicken tender day.
What turns you off?
Needles.
What sound or noise do you love?
The crashing of waves along the beach.
Nice. What sound or noise do you hate?
Chalk on a chalkboard.
This is going to require a whisper. What is your favorite curse word? The time-honored one syllable. Some people like the four-syllable one, but this is just a one-syllable one. What profession, being a student, right? What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
So since I don't have a profession right now, obviously a student, probably being a professional basketball player, even though I'm very short. It wouldn't really work out well, but I think that would be pretty cool.
Life is for living. You got to get after it. Okay. What profession would you not like to do?
DMV worker. That's definitely the worst job out there.
When you get to heaven, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
This is going to cause a lot of controversy, but I would like God to tell me that pineapple does belong on pizza.
Okay. So it is my great pleasure to speak in support of Will Orchowski for his counselor talk and just this introduction. As you know, it's Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Months. And as a proud and, to my knowledge, our only Hawaiian, Will has the combined street credibility of being First Nations / Indigenous American / Native American / Pacific Islander, that he shares all of these statuses. But besides being kind of a diversity machine, this is just the beginning. I like to describe Will as a prism. A light from seemingly another place comes through him. And as it does, that light refracts in all kinds of directions so that everyone who approaches Will sees something different and receives a different sort of gift from him. People watching is one of my favorite pastimes. I'm sure you're glad to know that. That's not at all weird. And so when watching Will, one of the things you'll notice as he interacts with others is that the way that he sort of works a room even when he's not trying to work a room. His connection with others is just sort of a natural one. So when he connects with others, he does so in a way that you can just tell that the person who is standing before him or talking with him has his full attention no matter what. You can tell that they feel as if they are the only person in the world for him. And even when you first meet Will, you kind of feel like you've known him your whole life. And somehow, maybe even before that, maybe in a previous life as well. Will has an attentiveness to the moment that is so useful for us, I think, as a lesson and as a practice. In boarding school, life can be a blur. But Will has this uncanny ability to focus on the gift of the present, to be in the moment, and to be in the moment in a way that brings a kind of calm and serenity to the people around him. He has a heart for service and a heart for others. And whether it's in his role as a counselor or on dorm or as a teammate or a classmate or a friend, Will exudes the kind of honesty, authenticity, and integrity that makes him a pleasure to know. Now, there's a few things I should probably mention from the advisory perspective. As an advisory, we know, and Will knows, that it is his bounden duty and responsibility to tap our table early on during seated lunch. He knows that this is the expectation. We've explained it to him many, many times. Now, does he always follow through on that?
Yes.
Well, no, actually. But over time, as an advisory, we have learned that it's okay for him to show some other advisories some love. And over time, we have learned to forgive this fatal flaw. We found a way to do it. And then there is the other thing. There is the other thing, the thing that honestly I'm a little reluctant to mention, and that is the thing that we will never understand. And Will, you know what it is? Pineapple on pizza. Really? Out of all the savory things out there in the world, pineapple on pizza, seriously. But I digress. So before you begin your counselor talk, I have a gift for you. Okay, so, yes, this came actually, it was delivered by angels with an inspirational message. Pizza as God intended, and of course, it's pineapple and ham pizza. So, Will.
Yeah, you go take one.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
If whoever likes pineapple on pizza, feel free. So, thank you, C-Dubs, for everything. Truly, eating his pizza, awesome. So, before I get into my counselor talk, I have a whole page called leave that up there. I have a whole page called a C-Dubs segment. So basically, I'm going to talk about Chaplain White as well. So this is something I've been working on the past 4 years. And if you've had C-Dubs as a teacher, you probably know what I'm about to do. So it's basically like when C-Dubs shows up late into a classroom and he just does his thing. So imagine I'm C-Dubs and I'll be late to a classroom and just, hold on. Be right back. People! Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I'm so late. But guess what? I got chips. So, okay, before I toss the chips onto the crowd, just eat them after because I don't want y'all to cause a mess. So, raise your hand and go. Yeah, so I'm basically working on the people better than my counselor talk. So now the next part of the C-Dub segment is basically me making fun of him. So before I get into my paragraph of gratefulness towards you C-Dubs, I have something I need to share with the rest of the school. A lot of you probably have heard of these before. Some of you might even have them. They're small books like diaries. And when you write stuff in them, you write stuff in them when people say something odd or very interesting. And personally, I never had one of these, but I decided to create one on my notes app on my phone just for Chaplain White. So it's my C-Dubs Vade that I will be sharing with y'all. And I'm not going to share all of them because it's like pages and pages of quotes. But here are some of C-Dubs' quotes that I want to share. My only regret in life is not having me as a teacher. Where would we be without the bacon cheeseburger, people? I mean, it's not the Declaration of Independence, but it's our culture. If it wasn't for chapel or assembly, I think I could go off the radar. Why hasn't Chaplain White been given a raise?
Strictly comical.
Why doesn't Chaplain White teach all the classes here? I totally forgot about assembly. I'm in charge of that. You know, sometimes I occasionally lie to you people. Where's that one? Okay, so this is a student life, when he was leading student life last year. So C-Dub's leading student life. Remember last year when drugs and alcohol were bad? They're still bad. Let's go get lunch. I'm going to end it there. Now the last part of my C-Dubs segment. So C-Dubs, I just want to say thank you so much for being my advisor these past 4 years. Little did I know when I met you during freshman orientation, I struck gold. Thank you for all the dine-outs before COVID and all the cookouts during COVID. Rather than not worrying too much about your advisee's whereabouts or grades, even though we all pretty much graduated, so he is on top of us. Shout out to the C-Dubs advisory too, best advisory on campus. But I will truly miss next year when I'm at college. I will truly miss the people next year when you walk into a classroom and quiz and chills. Thank you for being the best advisor I could ask for. And y'all can just see the advisory dominance. I mean, it's just uncanny to the rest of the advisories, so y'all gotta step it up. So now I will begin my counselor talk. I never thought I was going to give one of these speeches. I know a lot of my fellow counselors have thought about giving a counselor talk since their freshman year, but that never really occurred to me. I don't like public speaking in general. I get nervous, and I don't think I'm quite good at it. Maybe I should have taken the public speaking class. Over the years, I've heard very different styles of counselor talks, from inspirational talks like all the Staggers talks that have been said at my time here. Emotional talks. Last year, Ope gave a really emotional talk when he was thanking the people that he loved. Funny counselor talks, like when Will Cox drank milk during his counselor talk, then he got into a fight against the VES Bear. And the VES Bear hasn't been back since, so. Creative talks, like when Josh Buckley made a video with the Everywhere You Look Full House theme and then had the Knables up for a meal with a live lobster. And fun and simple, meaningful counselor talks, like when James Frentress's SMAC class vocalized his name and then he ended his counselor talk in like 30 seconds. I could go on about all the amazing counselor talks that throughout my time here, but I realized I have to start talking about mine. I think I'm going to lean more towards a creative, fun, and simple message because I think an emotional or inspirational talk is not really in my strong suit. Mr. Aldridge, can you hit the next slide, please? Memories. Yes, memories. I find it so fascinating that we as humans can do so many things in life and our brains are able to store the things we do. Sometimes we can't remember every little detail or even recall doing something like what you had for breakfast, but the things we remember the most are always good or bad. Yes, we humans make mistakes and grow from our mistakes, but this talk is not leaning towards that idea of making mistakes. My talk is focusing on the idea of living in the moment and creating new memories that you'll for sure remember looking back on your life. I think I got this idea of talking about memories from Mr. Knable's experimental lit class because the prompts he's given us this year to write about have all tied in with the memories throughout my life that I then use those memories to create stories for the papers he asked for. I highly recommend students to take that class whenever you have the chance. And shout out to my experimental lit class, y'all. Y'all are the best. But little did I know when I moved from Hawaii to Lynchburg, I would be creating some of the best memories of my life so far. And these past 4 years at VES, they've really been some of the best years of my life, even with COVID. Can you hit the next slide? So what I'm saying is VES has given me better memories that I could have asked for, and that has gone by very, very fast. I remember yesterday, like it was my freshman orientation, and Mr. Hanning was yelling at all of us, all the new students on front jet, about the rock, paper, scissors game with the egg, bat, something, like transforming game. So go live in the moment and create fun memories because this school is truly something special. Here's just a glimpse of some of the memories I made during my time at VES, and shout out to Smug Mug and all the things too. You can go to the next slide, Mr. Aldridge. Now for the thank yous. I can't thank all of y'all because, not individually because that would just be mean, because thank all of you basically. So of course every counselor talk has them. Thank you to every teacher who has taught me past and present. I've tried my best. Even though I'm not done with school yet though. Thank you, Mr. Button, for keeping this school in check, and for the rest of the faculty and staff for making the VES run, because honestly, without y'all, this wouldn't be possible. To the previous 3 classes that graduated before the class of 22, thank you for being a part of my journey here. To the present student body at VES, thank you for being a part of my ohana. If you don't know what that means, it means family in Hawaiian. I really think that this school is one big family, and I like that word more than community, because the bonds we make at this school are far greater than any other school. My friend Mufu, Ethan Tebbett's older brother, who graduated last year, said this to me a couple months ago. Cherish VES. They got a type of community that no college has, missing it. I think he's right about that. So to students, cherish all the moments you have here. To my fellow classmates of the class of 2022, can you go to the next slide, please? Thank you for being my classmates. I couldn't have asked for better. We have 15 days left. Let's not try to get kicked out like a lot of our previous classmates. So let's just enjoy the time we all have left together. Love y'all. And finally, thank you to my family. Mom, Dad, thank you for choosing me to be your son. I couldn't have asked for better parents. I love you both so much, and I'm truly grateful for everything you've done for me. To my sisters, Kelly and Emily, I love you both so much, and I'm so happy to be y'all's baby brother. I even followed your footsteps by choosing to become a Hokie this upcoming fall. You both have given me some of the best laughs of my life, and I couldn't be more grateful. But to cap off this counselor talk, thank you, VES, truly. Y'all mean the world to me, and I couldn't have asked for a better 4 years, so thank you.